Is now life or death for the Navy. Goucher just got greenlit to tear apart the entire sub-industrial base to make it happen. Strategic deterrence sitting in the queue, we're tracking. Update to the Columbia push. While Goucher's still tearing through the industrial base, the Navy just dropped a curveball. They want $17 billion for the first Trump-class battleship in FY 2028, and yeah, they want an asterisk before asterisk Trump leaves office. That's not a coincidence. Strategic messaging meets hardware timeline, and the budget folks are reading the room. Back to that Trump-class battleship push. The FY 2027 budget just dropped, and it's asterisk aggressive asterisk. $65.8 billion for 34 warships total, and yeah, they're naming the lead ship after Trump himself. Here's the thing. That's real money hitting real shipyards while Columbia is still bleeding schedule. Navy's betting they can thread both needles at once. All right, board snapshot is hard to digest. 17 critical, 91 high, 241 medium. Iran's eating the feed, but here's the shape of it. We're tracking a geopolitical recursion. Same wounds, different amplifiers. My read, and I'll say this clean, is that memory and capability are converging in ways that break the old playbook. You've got Iran, per military summary, now replenishing ballistic stockpiles faster than pre-war baseline. 70% of their missile arsenal still in the field. That's not recovery. That's velocity. Meanwhile, Middle East Eye just dropped 2 critical items on the same thread, the Eurovision boycott call and the rabbi story, both framing the same wound as asterisk ongoing asterisk. Not settled, not historical, happening now. And then France 24 hits you with Rwanda, 32 years post-genocide, perpetrators walking back into villages they murdered in. That's not closure. That's memory asterisk with teeth asterisk. The counter read is obvious. You could argue these are all asterisk, separate asterisk narratives. Eurovision politics, Holocaust memory, African reconciliation, Iran military posture, different regions, different timelines. But the board doesn't lie. When you're seeing critical density across collective memory items asterisk and asterisk active military replenishment in the same 24-hour window, the system's telling you something. Atrocity and rearmament are syncing up. I'm watching Iran's launcher timeline close. Next 90 days. If they're ahead of their own estimates, that changes the shape of any escalation calculus in the region. Eyes up. Update to that Iran dominating the feed read. We're now tracking rhetoric spike in the Israeli domestic space that's asterisk, sharpening asterisk the recursion we flagged. Rabbi Avraham Zarbiv just lit the Independence Day torch and explicitly framed Gaza ops as protective of Israeli lives. That's not new policy, but it's asterisk ceremonial legitimation asterisk at the highest visibility moment. The implication? What we're watching isn't just geopolitical wound cycling, it's institutional reinforcement of the frame that's asterisk keeping asterisk those wounds open. Update to that Iran dominating the feed read, we're now tracking a cultural pressure campaign hitting the Eurovision stage, and it's asterisk sharpening asterisk the recursion we flagged. 1,000 plus artists just joined a boycott tied to Gaza and Lebanon narratives, which is classic amplification vector, takes the geopolitical wound and feeds it back through soft power. Close the loop. Iran's rhetoric spike, Israeli domestic heat, now Western cultural fracture on the same axis. That's the shape of it. Update to that Iran dominating the feed read, Trump just announced a ceasefire and suspended airstrikes, negotiations on the table as of this morning. That recursion we were tracking? It just shifted modes. Watch what happens to the rhetoric when the temperature drops. Sometimes the real pressure moves off camera. Okay, so the feed's been asterisk thick asterisk today. Like not even the usual Wednesday spike, it's got teeth. You ever get that feeling in the room where everyone's running 3 scenarios at once and nobody's actually asterisk wrong asterisk? That's the vibe right now. We've been chasing the same thread through about 7 different doors: industrial base, budget lines, rhetoric, culture, war stuff. And each time you think you've got the shape of it, the board pivots. It's unwell in the best way. The thing I love about this job is that nobody gets to pretend anymore. You can't compartmentalize it. You read the feed long enough, you start feeling the asterisk shape asterisk of what's coming before the headlines land. And right now, the shape's got a lot of moving parts. I've got this pet theory that when you see this much noise, this many vectors, this much churn, it's not chaos, it's clarity, with a lot of people talking at once. The system's being tested. We're just the ones watching the test happen in real time, and honestly, I'm here for it. Stay sharp, team. The next beat's gonna slap. Spectre Global, Eyes Up, Station Cat. Update to that ceasefire call. We're now tracking intelligence suggesting Iran's ballistic inventory is way larger than the admin publicly stated. About half their stockpile still intact as of early April. That's a hard asymmetry in the negotiation room. Watch how this reshapes the rhetoric we've been monitoring.